Alrighty, and welcome to another episode of the Comics from the World podcast. As always, I'm your host, Orion Scott Comics, aka Mateo, and like every other episode, I'm accompanied by.
Woody, what's up, dude? Um, same old, same old. I've been playing some Zelda.
Yeah,
Nothing's been new for me. But I'll ask it before you ask it. What have you been reading? What comics have you been reading?
well, luckily, I just finished my semester Tuesday. Did
Congrats, nice,
the last
nice.
of my finals, so I have a lot of free time now. I read a couple of things as since last time. Um, I did read Rocket Raccoon, and Groot Volume One, which is written by Scotty Young. It's more of like a more younger comic, like for younger people. But it was still a lot of fun. It's just like I ever since Guardians, I just want to read like more Guardian
Yeah,
stuff. So I kind of want to check out Rocket and Groot's
not to
solo.
not to interrupt. I almost bought it when I was in my comic book shop. I might buy it. They have this trade paperback. It's like the complete collection, so it's like a fat trade of
Okay.
the complete collection of Donny Cates's Guardians of the Galaxy run.
Oh yeah, that's on my list on like what to
Yeah.
read during the summer. So it looks sick. It looks really really cool. Um, let me pull up what I. All right, so I read the Rocket Raccoon one. A while back, I read Batman: Kings of Fear, which is really good. I don't know if I already talked about that.
You posted that on a couple different social medias, Twitter and League of Comic Geeks, and I immediately was like I want to read that because I saw the art and it
Yeah.
looks
Oh
amazing.
man,
It looks so good.
I tweeted out that this Batman Kings of Fear has some of the best Batman imagery that I've seen in a while, and I think Kelly Jones is the artist, and I'm pretty sure that they were doing like Batman comics like way back when too, and it's just great. I really liked it. The story was very interesting. I won't give too much away because I know you want to read it, so it's really good. I thought it was really good.
The art at least looks amazing, so I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's great. I just actually rewatched Guardians Volume 3 yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, it still hurts. I
Still
thought it was
hurts.
good. I thought it was gonna be easier. I think it was slightly worse because I knew what was coming and I was like anticipating it, and I was just, I don't know, but it's still a phenomenal movie. Still really like it a lot. Um, but yeah, right now I'm reading Darkhawk from the 90s.
Ooh, I
Yeah,
saw that. Yeah.
I read issue number one. It's it's pretty decent. It's just like the same old, like the same like superhero teen young adult origin story where the parent is involved in some trouble. He tries to save, and he mysteriously comes to like see like the gets a crystal thing for Darkhawk, where like he transforms into a suit, and then he's like the basic cliche stuff. But the artwork is really good, and it's a character that I've been wanting to check in for a while. So that's
Darkhawk
that.
is awesome, dude. He's got like
He looks awesome.
one of the coolest comic book suits. Like
Yeah,
he's awesome.
he looks sick. What about you?
I just finished rereading Daredevil by Bendis Omnibus Volume 1, and I mean,
Nice.
it's even better than I remember it. It's so good, dude. It's
It
just
looks
so good.
good.
It's amazing.
Damn.
It just kind of reminded me of how amazing the Kingpin is as a
Hmm.
villain. Like I feel like I've kind of fallen off on him for some reason, and then this just reminded me, like, damn, like I love the Kingpin because I love like anything somewhat mobster related. Like I love the Godfather, and I just the way he's depicted in Bendis's run of Daredevil is amazing. Just this one scene of like he goes to this guy, he like betrayed him, but he didn't. I would explain it, but like the guy's like, ah, well, I know I'm already dead, and he like
Yeah.
curses him out. He's like, "You fat bitch," and then the Kingpin just like pops him in the head. It's just such good like mobster kind of like dark and gritty storytelling.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to read more Daredevil. I know I read Chip Zdarsky. I read his run up to volume 5, and then I just kind of like stopped reading it. That's
it's just
because
finished.
did it really?
It just finished. They announced the new writer. who has a really good Miles Morales run. So that looks like it could be promising. But
Hopefully we'll get like an omnibus of Zdarsky's
I'm
Daredevil one. I mean, I don't
they
doubt
have
it.
to. They
Yeah.
have to. It's like so well received.
Hmm.
I want to read it so bad. But I know we have Frank Miller's run on our wheel for
Yeah.
long runs,
Yeah.
and I really hope we get that one next. I've
I know.
always
Fingers
wanted
crossed. Hopefully, hopefully we don't get Sam Alexander or anything.
it.
All right. So for today's episode, we'll be covering our review of X-Men First Class, and then we're gonna share some hot takes of our own. We're gonna do comic book movie hot takes as well as just comic book hot takes. And then I know as the day of this recording, the 25th, yesterday was the what was it called again? Is it PlayStation?
I forget what they call it. It's it's like a Nintendo Direct. It's like where
Okay.
they go and they showcase games coming up. There's the PlayStation Showcase, and at the very end,
Okay.
they showed like 12 minutes of Spider-Man 2, which I reacted to live on stream. I was freaking out. But you have not seen it yet,
I
so
have
this
not
is perfect.
seen it yet,
So we're gonna watch that.
it's gonna be great. I'm excited because I'm I'm about to replay the first Spider-Man game just because I haven't played it in a really long time. And I kind of want to get a PS4, a PS5 now because all the hype with
By
like,
the by the end of this, dude, you're gonna be like buying one. You're gonna be on BestBuy.com.
I'll be on the episode that's pre-ordering it.
Luckily, you have till fall of 2023
Okay,
to get it,
to
but
get the funds. I need the funds.
you're gonna have to, dude. It's gonna be
It looks sick. It looks really sick.
it's gonna be amazing.
Alrighty. So X-Men First Class. This came out I think in 2011, and it's basically just like a X-Men story in the Cold War, essentially. And I remember seeing this movie in the theaters and really liking it a lot. I I haven't seen the original X-Men trilogy. I haven't
Oh,
seen
really?
X-Men X2 United or The Last Stand. I haven't seen those. I've seen like bits and pieces of them, but like just to sit down and watch the whole movie, I have not.
I think those are
So,
the first comic book movies I saw after the first Raimi movie, the
no,
first
really.
Raimi Spider-Man. I remember like instantly loving Nightcrawler because those movies. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just never really appealed to me in a sense, and I I guess in a sense I became to know of the X Men just through like the X Men First Class, Days of Future Past, those X Men movies, and obviously as well as Deadpool, and unfortunately X Men Origins Wolverine as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw it a couple days ago. You said you saw it yesterday.
So I watched it last night.
I'll start off with you then. What would you think of the movie?
Uh, uh,
Oh, you don't like it?
but that's the thing. I don't really like it that much, but I don't dislike it that much. Like, it reminds me about how I feel about a lot of DCEU movies, where I think it's got some really good characters. It has, I mean, dude, this movie has like some 10 out of 10 character moments, especially
Yeah.
between Professor X and Magneto. Like, that's where like the movie was made for me, especially Magneto. But like the two
Yeah.
of them are just so great in this movie. But like when it comes to the villain and when it comes to the story, like it is kind of cool. The Cold War, like, oh, the X-Men basically stopped the Cold War, or stopped us from having a nuclear. Like, that is kind of cool, but I don't know. Just the story fell flat. The side characters fell flat for me. I didn't care about almost a single one of the X-Men that they recruited. But it's not bad. Like, it's an enjoyable movie to watch. I had a good time watching it.
I'm on the almost the opposite boat with you. I love this movie. This is I don't know why, but I really like this movie. I just think the thing that stands out the most in this movie, personally, is Magneto, and like Michael Fassbender's portrayal as Magneto. He's like one of my favorite actors like ever, and just him in this like role as Magneto and like his dynamic with Shaw and Professor Xavier and like all of them and how he views everything. It's just so very interesting to me. I really like it. I like his portrayal as Magneto a lot. As a movie in and of itself, I really liked it. I really like the story and like the characters. Though there were with the villain, I do understand. And I like how this one character Darwin, the character who can like adapt to anything, survive to anything, and it gets
Not
killed
really.
off. Yeah, because I always see like memes on like how you like killing off a person who can like basically withstand anything,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of like yeah, I can see that now.
I mean, yeah, the way they killed him though. I mean, I don't. His body tried, but I don't think you can really survive that one.
Yeah, so R.I.P. Darwin,
Yeah.
a true legend.
I saw the TikTok meme that you're talking
Yeah,
about, and while in like the in the short clip context, it's really funny, like because he's just basically like something about oh like our people have been enslaved, and it just cuts to a close up like right of his face, like
yeah.
it reminded me of a Key and Peele skit, but
Oh, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
yeah, it reminded me of a Key and Peele skit. But on the other hand, I do think it was done on purpose. I just think it was just a little jarring the way it was done, but
Yeah.
because the X-Men like are basically like they were brought up around the time of civil rights, like
hmm
when so I think it was like kind of a nod to that, like how the X-Men like were kind of inspired by the civil rights movement, but it was just done a little weird.
Yeah, they could have done a better job with
Yeah.
with
They
that.
could have done a better job at portraying that.
Yeah. Another thing that I really liked about this movie is I really like the Wolverine cameo where
Yeah. I still remember I that's the part I remember being in theaters and I was like
yeah, and he's just like go fuck yourself.
yeah, and I was younger, so I was like, "Oh, he said go fuck, go fuck yourself." Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Um, what are some other things you like to? I know you don't really like this movie, but I just kind of want to see what
Well,
other things did you like with the movie?
I do like the movie. Like I like it more than I dislike it. Like I
Okay.
genuinely had a good time watching it. I just kind of fall. I'm very in the middle. Like I'm
Mm.
kind of like, like you know.
Yeah.
Um, but some stuff I really liked. I mean, literally anytime Charles and Magneto are on screen together, like anytime they're interacting, it's just like captivating. It's so
Yeah.
good. And really anytime Magneto's just on the screen in general. Like um the scene when he's going to the guy and he's trying to find Shaw and he's like, "Oh, metal fillings." And he's like taking out
Yeah.
like the metal from his teeth that like
Brutal.
yeah, he's just great. I like the scene where Charles is like telling him how to take full potential of his
hmm
power and he's like, it's not just rage, you got to it's in between serenity and rage and he gets him to turn the uh satellite
Satellite dish.
dish.
Yeah.
Um yeah, anything with them and it was great.
Yeah. It was definitely the highlight of the movie for me for sure. I really like the ending where like Magneto takes away the helmet from Shaw and basically just like the coin through his head and like it cuts from just Shaw just like frozen standing there and then like Xavier like feeling the pain
Yeah.
of a coin going through your skull. I thought that was a really cool scene. I like the scene where he's at this like the bar pub area and then like he has like the knife and like he just shoots out the knife and just stabs the guy in the neck
Yeah,
again.
yeah, dude. That part
That whole
was
scene was so sick. And
yeah. Just the way he's like intimidating them, like
yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, my family was killed by pig farmers and
hmm
whatever," because that's what they said that they were. Even though, and then he shows off like
The tattoo.
the Holocaust like tattoo
hmm
thing, and they like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
dude!"
And then
That besides the Wolverine cameo though, the part that you just talked about was my favorite. When I just love the line when he's like, "I agree with you. Like we, the mutants should take over," and then he's like, "But you killed my mother, so you're
yeah.
gonna die."
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I just love the way he delivered that.
I feel like throughout like the whole like the series of the X-Men, he's kind of like a highlight of all the X-Men movies. Um what was it? He had a really cool scene in Dark Phoenix and like in the train where like I don't know if you've seen Dark Phoenix. I've seen only clips of Dark Phoenix and the only clips I've seen was like Magneto like doing this like the stuff with the metal and it was just really cool. So I think consistently throughout the series he's just like a main constant like
Yeah,
really cool character.
really, really good character. I remember, although I haven't seen it since it was in theaters, I remember loving Days of Future Past,
Hmm.
and I think I got these two movies mixed up. But one thing I didn't like about the movie, although I did like it sometimes, I feel like they were just kind of a little too on the head, a little too many times, where like making little nods, like at the end where she's like, "You're some kind of G-Man," and then he's like, "We're X-Men," and it's like,
Yeah.
and then when they're coming up with nicknames and they're
Hmm.
like, "I think you're
Yeah.
Mystique," and it's like, I like stuff like that, but it felt like it was just a lot, like.
Yeah. It felt very like forced
Yeah,
in a sense.
they kept doing it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's just like that whole like scene where it's just like they're them trying to come up with name. I'm like, I'm
They
like,
keep,
okay.
yeah. And then when they put on their like X-Men uniforms,
Hmm.
they're like, "Do we really have to wear this?" And like, and I was just like, "Oh,
It's like the whole
okay."
cliche thing where like they like for like a comic movie to like have like the original or
Yeah.
like some variation of the original suits and like the characters complain about it. It's it's like
And
a whole cliche
yeah,
thing.
and then Professor X, after he gets paralyzed, he's like, "Next thing you know, I'll be going bald." And I was like, "Oh my god, dude, like we get it, we get it, we get it."
He goes bald via Apocalypse
Yeah.
too, so which in and of itself is very interesting.
Ugh.
But this movie did make me like the X Men a little bit more because I know I wasn't really a fan of the X Men. I just like I felt like there's just so much like lore and like so like many like intertwining like stories. Like it was like, just like confusing to get into, and it just never like really appealed to me. But then after watching this movie and like the other like Days of Future Past, I started to like them a lot more and decided to check them out. And they're really cool. And like in the movies and like in the comics, they're like really, really like awesome. Like I think the first X Men comic I read was New X Men by Grant Morrison and Frank Wiley, which was very good. And it just made me like the X Men a lot more than what I already had. So
Yeah. They have I have it right here. It's I think we'll probably eventually read it on the podcast. It's called X-Men Grand Design,
mhm.
and it's made by, from what I understand, he's kind of like almost like a mega fan, and he puts all of their history into like 5 or 6 issues,
Oh
and it's
damn,
supposed to be like really good if like, you don't know, because like you said, they have a huge history, a lot of lore,
yeah,
and so it's something I want to read as someone who hasn't read a lot of X-Men, doesn't know a whole lot. So I think that'll be a fun read when we get
definitely.
to it.
Yeah, I remember. I Speaking of Grand Design, I did read Fantastic Four Grand Design, and it was okay in the sense of like in that Grand Design series, the writer kind of like skipped a lot and like he misinterprets a lot too. Where like because I looked up the reviews and like the reviews were, like kind of like mixed, saying like there's a lot of things that were missing, glossed over, or just like misinterpreted. So, um,
I've heard, besides X-Men Grand Design, pretty much bad things about all the other
yeah,
ones.
yeah,
I
yeah.
heard the
So
Hulk one isn't good, but the X-Men one is like highly praised,
yeah,
and I've heard it's very good, if both for like long-term X-Men fans and newcomers. So
yeah. And the
check that
art
out
design
sometime.
looks really cool too. It's really like retro design. That looks
It's
awesome.
it's very I'll show it real quick. Like it's super unique. The paper like isn't white. Like it's like kind of almost yellow, like it's like aged.
Oh, damn. That looks sick. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gives like a nice like retro look to it.
So yeah, it's really unique. That's mainly why I bought it, because I was like, this is just like so different from any other comic that I've ever seen. So
Yeah, it looks awesome.
yeah.
So overall, what would you rate the movie?
Um, what would you rate it? I don't know.
We're doing it out of 10, right, for movies, or is it out of 5?
Out of 10. Out of 10. Out of
Out of
10.
10, out of 10. I would give it a solid 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I was gonna go 6.5.
Respectable, I
Yeah,
guess.
I think that's where I land because I don't think I can go full 7, but I'll go 6.5. The character moments are great.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you've also got, I oh, she plays Angel. I was gonna call her Catwoman. Her character I think is atrocious. Um, I think I Mystique was weird to me in this movie. Like Jennifer Lawrence doesn't play her bad, but like okay, she's really into Beast the whole movie. She's really into him,
Yeah.
and then they get in like a small disagreement, and then all of a sudden she's in Magneto's bed, and I was like, whoa! I was like, that's, geez,
Poor
but
Beast.
and I know that like throughout the movie, like the reason she ends up joining him is because he keeps telling her like quit disguising as like a human looking character and just be yourself, be the blue Mystique, that's who you truly are. He was like
Yeah.
quit hiding. So I know he's like kind of been, but I felt like it was a really weird change for her just to be in his bed. And
Yeah.
um I I don't know, I think the movie would have been a lot better, like get rid of Havoc, get rid of Banshee, and they just felt unessential and their characters annoyed me. And I think it should have just been Professor X, Mystique, Magneto, um, and maybe like one or two more. But like, I just really liked when the movie focused on Charles and Magneto and Mystique too.
Yeah.
I liked her in the movie besides her doing that weird scandalous behavior. But
Yeah.
and I liked Beast too. Um, I liked him in the movie. He was pretty good.
Yeah. Definitely for sure. I liked how like they kind of show him like Beast in like in a human form, if that makes sense. Because like in the original Stanley run, he was like just human before he turns into like a monster and stuff like that. So that's something that I really liked.
I was curious because I have no idea how he turns into the blue monster, because in this one it's him trying to give himself a cure, but it just makes his mutagen mutation like
Yeah.
more. I was curious. I was like, I wonder if that's how it is in the comics, or you know, I have no idea. But it was pretty cool. I thought his beast look was good, but the mouthing wasn't very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. That's why. Yeah, I had the same credit like little, like I noticed that too. I was like, it's a little off.
And you could tell it wasn't coming from out of his mouth. You could tell it was like from a microphone, like he recorded
Yeah.
it elsewhere. But
Yeah.
his like look wasn't bad though.
Yeah. I liked it a lot. Um. So yeah, that's our review for X-Men First Class. Um, pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. So did you.
Yeah, I would watch it again.
Yeah. Um, and then yeah, that's our review for X-Men First Class. Now on to a nice little debate or discussion on our hot takes. Comic book hot takes, comic book movie hot takes. We each have one of each. Um, do you want to start off, since I think you said you had a really
I have a
uh
boiling
yeah.
hot take. You're
Okay.
gonna get, dude. You're gonna be
Oh
mad. You're gonna be
no.
mad. You're gonna be
No.
mad.
Okay.
Okay, okay. I think this is no. This is my hottest comic book take I have.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Alex Ross's art is bad.
Ooh.
It is bad and actually
Damn.
bad isn't the word to use because it isn't bad. It's uninteresting,
Okay.
and I don't like looking at it when I'm reading comics.
You know,
I saw you've been like retweeting his stuff, and I was like,
yeah.
ooh, I was like,
With like, so that is a scorching take. I'll tell you that. Um, but I would have to agree that for like his like interior artwork, like him like drawing like a whole comic, I agree. I
okay,
I don't. It just feels like, because like his artwork is so like stylistic and so like, it's realistic.
it's just realistic.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like real.
realistic, and like when it comes to like just like single page art and like just covers and like just like commission like artwork, um, that's where his artwork really stands out. But if it's like interior artwork, it just it takes me out a little bit. So
I don't
I
even
agree.
like
So
the co-
I actually kind of
I'm
agree.
surprised. I'm surprised. I don't even like the covers, but I'll give him this.
Oh,
I'll give him this. This is the one thing I will give him. I love his Iron Man. I think he
his Iron Man's
draws
sick.
a great Iron Man, and I
Hmm.
love his Iron Man. But he is the reason I've never read Kingdom Come because I see the artwork and I'm like, I don't want to read that. He's the
Okay.
reason I've never read Marvels, which I think is the coolest concept. It's like, from what I understand, basically a comic from the perspective of an everyday person seeing like
Hmm.
Spider-Man fighting Green Goblin, all that kind of stuff. Um, but every time I've tried to make myself buy Marvels, and every time I flip through it, I'm like, oh. Again, I always feel bad talking about people's artwork, but I
Hmm.
feel less bad here because he's obviously very talented and he's obviously a good artist. Like,
Hmm.
I'm not going to sit here and say he's not a good artist. Like, the guy knows how to draw. But when I'm looking at comic books, that is the last thing I want to look at. I want to look at like some of my favorite artists are like Chris Samney. I love Charles Darwin. I
Hmm.
love Jim Lee. I love like Jim Lee's really about as realistic as I want art to look.
You mean
I
uh Darwin Cook? You said Charles
Charles
Darwin.
Darwin. Oh my god, I'm thinking of the movie. I'm thinking of the movie last night because they started talking about Charles Darwin. That's why they gave the guy his name, Darwin Cook. Oh my god, Charles Darwin Cook. Um, Jim Lee, like I said, is like as realistic as I want art to look. I think. I don't.
Okay.
I love like Jim Lee, but I don't really want it getting too much more realistic than that.
I'll just throw in like a little hot take. I think Jim Lee's art is overrated.
Ooh.
I do think his artwork is overrated. Um, it's good. He has good artwork, but like everyone think he's like the best artist around. I'm like, nah.
Yeah, he's not one of my favorites. I just really brought him up because like he's as realistic as I want it to get.
Hmm.
Like I don't want it to look any more real than his art.
Yeah.
Um but like I mean my favorite artist of all time is Mark Bagley. Like
Okay, that's a good one.
he's got a lot of different styles, he's got the Ultimate Spider-Man style, but then like the earlier Spider-Man, that's my
Hmm.
favorite Spider-Man he draws like in the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
So
I
that's
just
your comic book hot take is basically Alex Frost is mid.
Yeah, worse than mid. He's worse than
Oh
mid in
no!
my
Come
eyes.
on. I,
I won't even read a comic book drawn by him.
you know, I do like I said I do understand and I do think that myself with like his interior artwork more than his like his covers because I read Justice that is written by Jim Kruger and the artwork is by Alex Ross, and I was kind of like about it because it's Alex Ross interior artwork, but I still really liked it and Alex Ross's covers are just so awesome, man. I just
His Iron Man covers are great. I liked those. I
uh
would read an Iron Man run drawn by Alex Ross. Like I would. I think his Iron Man is just like he might draw. No, he doesn't. He does not draw my favorite Iron Man. That is absurd. But he draws a really good Iron Man. He does a really good Iron Man.
yeah. That starting off strong here. We're
Yeah.
starting off strong. All right. So my comic book hot take. I'm trying to think which one's like the worst among the choices I have because I have a lot. I have a good amount. Um. Hmm. Okay. So. Okay. I'll say this. I'll say like this. Like this is my usual hot take that I always say. I think that the Dark Knight Returns is not even top 10 best Batman comics.
I bought it. I still haven't read it. I still have never got around to it. But that is a super hot take.
That is a hot take. It's well, I wouldn't say it's not top 10. I would say it's not top 5. It's definitely not top 5 in my book.
Okay.
Um I think I read it twice, and I just like, especially the first time I read it, I read it and I was like, didn't get the like the praise, I guess, because I know it really shifted the character of Batman during that time, from like campy and goofy to like a more dark, gritty, and serious Batman, which I do get, and honestly I do appreciate a lot. But just like the story in and of itself, I don't know. I read a lot of Batman comics that are definitely better than The Dark Knight Returns. I think Batman Nightfall is better. Batman Prey is better. I think Year One is better. I think Long Halloween's better. I think Batman Noel is better. I don't know. Dark Knight Returns. It's definitely overrated in my book, very much
The
so.
only thing I've seen and I love the art and the paneling, especially the paneling.
Yeah,
Um, that should be one we review on here too because I've never read it and you don't like it, so we'll get some different
yeah.
takes. But yeah, I don't know. I should read it. I bought it because that's the reason I bought it though, is because I was like, oh, I have to own this, right? Like,
Yeah, everyone says you have to read it. You have to like have in your collection if you're a true Batman fan. I'm like, no, I don't think so.
all right, that's two really hot takes to start it off. That's two
Yeah.
really hot takes. Okay, for comic book movies, I'll let you decide kind of which one I go with here. Do you want to hear my Marvel comic book movie
Ooh.
hot take or my DC comic book movie hot take? I will say the DC one will get you more upset than the Marvel one. I think you'll actually agree with the Marvel one.
Ooh. I'd say go with the DC one.
Okay.
Oh God.
All right. While I do like it. Um, the Snyder cut is massively overrated.
Oh.
It's quite overrated.
Oh.
Number
Yeah.
one, it's way too damn long. It could have been much shorter. We've got way too much slow mo. We've got Aquaman
Okay.
walking down this bridge with the water moving in the most slowest of motion ever while this lady is singing in the background, and I was like, do we need this right now? Could we maybe not watch this? Um Also, while it is 500 times better than the Josh Whedon version, I mean like just so much better. It still does contain a lot of the same movie parts. We got to remember there's still a lot of stuff from the Josh Whedon movie that's in the Snyder cut and it's still bad. Um I do like it though. I have a lot of nostalgia watching it because I think it released at the perfect time, which was like the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I have great memories. Me and my friend watched it on a Discord call, and we were just reacting like, "Oh, like dude, when the war is happening with Darkseid," and like, I have really, really great memories. We watched it in like two sittings. I was just like eating a pizza that I ordered for takeout, just like we were having the best time. And I do really like that movie. Like I like it a good bit, but I think it's a bit overstuffed. It still has some of the bad parts from the Josh Whedon version, and I think in this movie you really see like Snyder kind of worshiping himself a little bit, like I said, with these slow motion shots and like okay, all right, but yeah,
Damn, that is a hot take. 'Cause I really like the Snyder cut. I think it's really really good. I know a lot of people. I would say this. Especially on Twitter, people say it's like the greatest comic book movie of all time. As much as I like the movie, as much as I love the movie, I would not agree with that. It still has its flaws. I do have one main complaint about the movie, and it's just I don't know. I didn't like Batman's characterization in this in the Snyder cut because from if you compare his characterization from the Snyder cut to Batman vs Superman, it's very different. And like people
Yeah.
might say it's because like he changed his like motivation to like instead of killing Superman, he wants to be more hopeful and stuff like that. But just the way he goes about it, it doesn't really feel Batman. And
That is
like
a really good point.
like
Yeah.
that one part where like they're going on like the flying fox and like Batman says to Alfred to have faith, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if Batman would say to have faith. I mean, I don't know.
I also
don't.
he's kind of like jokey in the movie.
Yeah, and like, I and like his suit. I think his suit's a downgrade from BVS.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know.
Oh
I think
yeah, because this is the one with the goggles and yeah.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
like
yeah.
this cow's like more like I guess like the way I describe it is like more shrink wrapped around his like his head, and like I don't know. I think they just went a little bit too overboard with the Batman suit. The CGI is not the best. You can see some, but like given like the during COVID and um the budget and so like for like the additional reshoots and stuff like that, I completely understand that, but overrated. People do
Overrated.
overrate it. I do give that people do overrate it, but I still think it's great.
I do like the movie. Like I
Mhm.
like it. We'll eventually watch it and review it.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's probably like a 7. Probably is where I'm gonna guess I'm at with it. Probably 7.5. 7.5. 7.5.
I'll have it like a at a. I'd say have it at a 9.
Okay.
I would have it at a 9.
I think I'll have that. I could change my mind when I see Henry Cavill return and kick Steppenwolf's ass. It
Yeah,
might go up for me. Like it's pretty great.
that whole scene in of itself, I was like, and you see, and you hear like the Man of Steel theme in the background from. I was like,
Yeah,
it gave me goosebumps. It gave me goosebumps.
it's good stuff.
It was great. Um, so and then my
Comic book movie hot
hot
take.
take. I think that the Christopher Nolan
Oh God.
Batman trilogy is overrated. The trilogy as a whole begins Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, overrated.
No.
Like for the Dark Knight as a movie, it's a really great movie, but like as like a Batman movie, not so much. Yeah.
I mean, I can get on board with the trilogy being overrated more than I can get on board with that. I think The Dark Knight unbiased is the best comic book movie ever. No way. No way.
It's a great movie, but like as like a comic book movie, as like a Batman movie, I'm like, nah, nah.
It's so good. It's literally I think it's almost perfect.
As a crime noir movie, it's great, but like I think the Batman is a better movie than the Dark Knight.
I think I've said that before that I think that's
Yeah.
blasphemy. But I am on board with Pattinson being a better Batman than Christian Bale. Like
Yeah.
I thought that from the opening scene of the Batman, like from the monologue. But I am with you. Like if we're talking about the trilogy, I think Batman Begins is overrated, and I think The Dark Knight Rises is clearly a step down from The Dark Knight. But I really love The Dark Knight Rises. Like the exaggerated death scene that everyone makes fun of is really bad, and I love laughing at it when I watch the movie
Mm.
when she's like, but I think the way it ends is so good, and the soundtrack playing in the background, where like I don't know, you know, like, Come on, you gotta like the ending of Dark Knight Rises when Alfred looks over then the music immediately kicks in and Bruce is just like gives him one of those and Alfred's like,
it's an ending for sure.
oh my god, it's such a good ending. I mean, it is corny when what's his name goes to he gives the lady his ID and she's like, you should go by your real name, Robin. And I was like, okay, like that
Oh, I
was
rolled my eyes so hard. I was like, "Oh, come on!" And like
that is
all like the fan art that happened after the movie with like it's just Joseph Gordon-Levitt and like the bat suit but with like Nightwing coloring. I'm like, "Come on!"
that part was corny. That part was corny. But him going into the Batcave was cool. I liked that. But I mean, I can't. I'm trying to think of what's something you don't like about the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. I can't think of a flaw right now. I'm trying to think. His batsuit.
His batsuit's terrible.
It's not good.
I hate this batsuit. I don't like his Batman. I hate his Batman. If I can be honest, I Christian Bale, great Bruce Wayne. His Bruce Wayne is great. His Batman though, nah.
Oh, dude, I don't like the batsuit, but I love like you're gonna love me, and then he comes. Oh, I love that part.
Yeah,
I love that part.
I really like. I mean, this is kind of already a given. Heath Ledger as a Joker was really good.
You couldn't have said that.
It's really he's like undoubtedly like phenomenal, and I think that's kind of like the one of the things for like the Dark Knight where I feel like his portrayal of the Joker is so good that it kind of like overshadows the movie in a bit.
That is a lot of people's not really criticism, but a lot of people say that, and I agree. It's more of a Joker movie than a Batman movie.
Yeah, and
it is.
I just feel like like just Two-Face there was kind of like why like I guess like in the context of the story like I guess it makes sense, but like just have like Joker and Two-Face there was.
I loved it because it just really solidifies like the Joker wins in that movie. Like he takes Gotham's like biggest hero and makes him into a villain. The here's another flaw is when somehow Two-Face doesn't realize it's Joker when he goes in the
God, yeah.
and then he takes off and he's like but
yeah,
that's what I love, like how it's like the Joker actually wins. Like the only other comic book movie we've seen where the villain pretty much wins is Infinity War.
I'd
that
say
I can think of.
There's another one actually. Where the villain wins. I feel like in a sense in the Batman, the Riddler wins because he's still one of my like, his plans is like
he does win, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of. And I thought it was funny because after the movie came out, one of my friends came up to ask me like, you saw the Batman, right? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, what, does Batman do anything in this movie? Because like he basically fails in almost every aspect except for saving the people at the end after Riddler's bombs blow up and flood Gotham.
Yeah, he doesn't do a good job.
Which I like because like he's only in his second year, and I think it's better to see like that.
Yeah, I
agree.
Like
he's still very new to this, and like just like that whole it's basically his first like major event as Batman in this, because I feel like in the beginning he's like fighting like small criminals and stuff like that, but still I feel like there was another. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but I forgot what it was. But yeah, I liked Commissioner Gordon's little monologue at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
I thought that was really
too.
Good.
But like if I was to say my favorite comic book movie trilogy, I think that was like our first episode hot take. I said it was the Spider-Man MCU trilogy. Still agree with that. Mm-hmm. But my second favorite would be the Nolan Batman trilogy.
It's my favorite trilogy to put me to sleep.
I'll at least give you Batman Begins. I got
another hot take.
I like Scarecrow a lot in the movie, but God, the rest of it. What?
There's another comic movie hot take.
Okay.
I think that Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor and Batman vs Superman was a great villain.
Yeah, that's the worst one yet. Oh God, that's the worst.
I thought he was a great villain because he succeeds in that movie too. He wins, and at the end, he kills Superman,
He does kind of succeed
and I just feel like
a
his
little
like
bit.
his like whole like narrative and like why he does what he does, and like the way he goes about it. Though it can be like super convoluted at times, I still really liked, and I thought he was a really good villain.
Oh, I think he is maybe my most hated comic book movie villain
Oh,
ever.
really?
I'd have to really think about it. At least in like when it comes to like movies that I respect. Like I'm not going to talk about like I don't know the Fantastic Four movie from the 70s or so. Like I don't know. I'm not going to talk about those movies, but oh, I could go on all day. I hated his Lex Luthor. The stupid Jolly Ranchers and his stupid painting with the devils and oh,
I really liked it. I thought it was great.
the only part I kind of liked was because I only kind of liked it because that's what I love about the character of Lex Luthor is when he's like got Superman on his knees, like showing him the pictures, and it's like I've always liked the idea of like Lex Luthor is just a dude and Superman's pretty much a god, and he's making this god like on his knees, like doing whatever he says. That's what I like about Lex Luthor. I don't like the way he's acting when he's doing it, but I that's the only positive I can say.
I like the line where he said where the same thing where like he's like kneeling, like seeing the picture of his mind, and I liked when he says, "Now God bends to my will." I
Yeah,
thought that was a pretty
that is a
really
good
cool
that is a
line,
good line.
really
I
good
like that
line.
line.
But yeah, that's the other. I think more. I think it was the worst hot take.
Yeah, that one out of every hot take you've ever said pained me the most. That pained me.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I can't. Oh, like when he's going and making Doomsday, dude. I hate that stupid scene. How good of a villain do you think he was? Like, do you think compared to like some other comic book movie villains, like, do you really love him? Like, are you like, yeah, he was, or are you just like, he's overhated, or what is it?
I would put him in my in top 10.
Top 10? Top
Yes,
10?
sir. Top 10.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely put him in top 10.
All right. And this will be this is the last thing I got. Do you just like him as a villain, or do you like him as Lex Luthor?
All right, so here's the thing. Um, as Lex Luthor, I liked the different interpretation of Lex Luthor and like the way he does it in this movie. Because I know it's not exactly like Lex Luthor; it's like far from it. But this like different iteration of Lex Luthor and just him as a villain, I do like a lot.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Do you want to say your other hot take since I did too?
Okay. I'll say my last comic book movie hot take. And I think you agree, because we
Okay.
kind of discussed this during our first episode. My hot takes kind of all centered around Spider-Man movies, but I think Amazing Spider-Man 2 is much better than Amazing Spider-Man 1 with with Andrew
Yeah.
Garfield.
Oh yeah, hands down. Because I remember it was recently I think. I saw them both back to back, and yeah, I just think the second one encompasses Spider-Man a lot better. Not just like with his suit, because his suit is amazing. No pun intended. In the second Spider-Man movie, but just like Peter Parker as Spider-Man, uh, just the whole like atmosphere of it is like a lot better than the
Yeah, I
first one.
think God, I think the first one is bad. Like I think it's really bad. But the second one, while the Green Goblin is just a travesty and it's if you ignore the Green Goblin, I like everything else. I think his relationship with Gwen is like that's why the death is so sad because in this movie their relationship is just like
Like strained.
it's so perfect. Like it's and I love Electro in this movie. he's over the top goofy, like with that's
Yeah.
true. But I kind of have fun with it.
Yeah, definitely. His theme is really cool too.
I was just about to say,
His theme.
if you know me, dude, like I'm so in love with that theme. I was looking more forward to hearing that theme in No Way Home than anything else. Like,
Yeah.
I have a blue Electro mask.
Oh, nice.
And one of my redemptions on my Twitch stream is if you play it, I play the theme and I start dancing with the mask on. Like,
I'll keep that in mind.
I'm obsessed with that theme. But even like when the theme's playing, that scene is like, dude, it's like one of my favorite Spider-Man scenes when they're fighting in
sick.
Manhattan.
It's really sick, yeah.
Or not Manhattan, Times Square. And yeah, I think that movie's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the Green Goblin is what kills it. Like, if it wasn't, or if he was just an okay version of Green Goblin, it would be like one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. But when he pops up, I'm like, oh god.
I feel like they should have saved him for like the third one because like it just felt like so like rushed and forced. Just have Green Goblin and with the effect of having the Rhino at the very very end of it.
That's another hot take I have. I love the ending, and I don't know why. Like, I love like the thing with the little kid, and like we don't get to see the fight with the Rhino, but I just think it's a fun way to end a really depressing movie. Like,
I do agree with that. It's just like the uses of the Rhino. It's just like,
yeah, I agree. But yeah, that's my. And speaking of Spider-Man,
or at least I will be reacting to the Spider-Man 2 announcement trailer thingy, which I'm very excited for. Gameplay, it's gameplay trailer, isn't it?
Gameplay and cutscene. I'll pause it. There's a couple times I want to pause it and like we can discuss a little bit. But yeah, here we go.
All right, sounds good.
Can you hear it all good?
Yeah.
Okay.
You grow slow in your old age, Sergei. A fate you will not share.
Oh, thank God. That was
I've been in your shadow for hours, but you sense nothing. Pathetic.
Damn.
Dude, I love the fake out they do there because I was like,
thank God. Oh my God. If that was his design, I would have lost it.
You know they did that on purpose.
They did. I
asked for an equal.
I know.
And this is what you find. Sir, perhaps a new hunting ground.
Oh, he's got to play Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah. Also, you made a joke on my stream where you were like, oh my God, I want to see Wraith. Yuri from the first game is Wraith. It's not the Wraith we want, but look. It's not the Wraith we were hoping for.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
But we've got a Wraith in the game.
Wraith Easter egg.
You can also see, there was a YouTube video that pointed it out. They eventually show all the villains in the prison, Rikers Island, from the first game. I think they show like Dr. Octopus, some others. I think they show Taskmaster on here he was on the side quests. But it kind of quickly flashes. Oh yeah, you can see him in the way back. But yeah.
Light the fires. The great hunt begins.
Nice. I'm excited for Kraven in this. He looks
Yeah.
awesome.
Lizard sighted in Queens. Closing in now.
Also, that's new, dude. The map's expanded. We're gonna have queens in the game.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They expanded the map.
Cover the door.
Dude, this is fine.
The beast could be anywhere.
Yo.
No idea.
Oh,
This whole blizzard hunt ends now. Leave Connors alone. Craven wants a hunt. I'll give him one he'll never forget. He's gonna wish he never came to New York.
Dude, the
his
voice. Dude.
Jeez.
Stand by at base quarters. Satellite scanning all active feeds.
Oh man.
Triangulating position. Target located at Harlem Fish Market. All teams converge.
Lizards across
He's
the river.
such a good Spider-Man voice.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
make it in
it's
time. Miles,
Oh,
The
that's
hunters
sick.
tracked Connors to the Harlem Fish Market.
Lizard. I'm on it. Sounds like Craven's checking off his
We
hit.
don't have much time. Move.
Oh. that's sick.
Guess we'll chat later. Yankee.
Oh, man.
The
Oh shit,
lizard's
it's the
loose at the
glider.
fish
got the
market.
gliders.
Must be
Oh,
sushi
man.
night.
Both
You
of them
still
are
got
gonna
that
have
hunter
it.
throwing you hijacked?
Been really tough hiding it from my mom, but yeah, I'll boot up and see you there.
Damn.
They got here fast.
They also show Shocker in the map thing, and everyone's
Oh.
joking about how he's gonna be like Shocker. You know that clip of
Oh yeah.
I will chase you to the ends of the earth, and like when he's got the.
Can't let him find
I
Connors.
hope they have an Easter egg
or
for
he's
that.
done for.
Fingers crossed.
Spread out. If you find the lizard,
Nice.
don't engage alone. Look at those fish. It's
I
been
really like
feeding.
that.
Yeah, I know that's so.
Never saw it coming. So, how's the hunt going?
Watch out,
Damn.
Judging by the 3 tons of dead fish, not well.
Jeez.
Where are you, Connors? Garage might lead to him.
That was sick.
Have you played Miles Morales the game?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Dude, I love here how they make like the lizard
Connors
have like
tore
these
through this
horror
place.
vibes.
I know.
He's out of control.
Damn. Yeah. This is awesome. Oh shit.
Where am I now? How'd you find me?
Follow the fish. Drone's picking up Lizard's trail.
He's still eating. We can catch him off guard.
Took me a while to figure out, but that's
Get
Genki.
behind me.
He has like this thing, or not lizard, like a falcon bot.
Damn.
It's just his skin.
Did he have that in Miles Morales?
Doesn't
No.
that mean he's getting bigger?
Hungrier too.
Whoa. Hey, man.
Jeez.
The building's swarming with hunters. Any sign of Connors?
Yeah. Genki's tracking him.
Hey, Mr. Parker. Mr. Spider-Man, I mean.
But the date isn't complete.
Okay, I think I got a lock.
Genki, wait. Be chill. That wasn't me.
Me neither.
I don't even have a stomach, so.
Let's go. Go, go, go! Make him alive!
Dude, he's huge.
He's massive. He's like the
Can't
size of
lose
Killer
Connors.
Croc.
Harry's dying, and he's the only one who can help.
We won't. You take the drones, I got the jet skis. Cool if I borrow this?
This is really, really exciting.
Keep it tight, man. Watch out for those drones.
Don't worry,
Damn.
they think I'm a friendly.
Take him out!
The East River is not a river, but in fact a saltwater
Nice.
tidal flat that Spider-Man is fighting on right now! Everybody down!
Help the tour boat! Right! I've got the metal murder bird!
I warned you about going after Connors. Now this is on you. Poison clouds. That all you got?
I feel like they should.
Almost done
They
here.
definitely
The
should
civilians are all safe.
the shocker
How you
meme.
looking?
Yeah.
Gunship won't
That was
quit.
perfect for
I'm
the
right
shocker
behind
meme.
you. We'll take it down together.
No time. I got you.
Nice.
Time to go boom,
Oh,
boys.
no. Spider-Man has got defenses. Spider-Man, hang on. Over there. The one with the tendrils. Move.
The one with the tendrils.
Damn. He's huge.
He is massive.
Miles! Grab on, let's go!
I like it though. I like how huge he is.
Yeah.
He's right behind you!
I know.
Very
Whoa.
Killer Croc vibes.
He's faster!
Yeah.
Fly faster. I do not want to be lizard food.
Damn.
Got him. Hold on. Look out. Everyone, take cover. What are you guys doing? Trying to take out that gunship. Can't get close enough.
But I can. I'm one of them, remember?
Bro, that's it. Pete, alley-oop on 3.
Fine.
1, 2, 3.
Fine.
Alley!
throws him on the ground.
Look how he just throws him. Dude, even
And Miles is
Miles
like, what the fuck?
Dude, Miles is like, dude, what the hell?
He got away from us. It's good, Pete. I saved the tracker. Let's go, man, before he gets too far.
No. He's mine.
You sure? He's got big teeth.
So do I.
He's not normally like that, right?
No,
Damn.
he's never like that.
Oh,
Dude, I saw this
Sick.
theory. I actually already had this theory, but I saw this theory because of this small clip right here. So you see the symbiote go on together, and then the like Venom Miles's power like break it up. That there's gonna be a Peter versus Miles boss fight.
That would be sick. Oh, that would be so cool.
My theory, I've had this theory for a long time about Spider-Man 2, is that the suit will start on Harry, like we saw in the post-credits of the first game. It'll start on Harry. It'll somehow get to Peter. Then Miles and Peter will fight. We'll have a boss fight. And then we'll see a scene where, maybe it's just like Spider-Man 3 where Peter's ripping off the suit and it gets on Eddie. And
That'd be
the
sick.
final boss will be versus Eddie Brock Venom.
Oh man, I'm gonna need a PS5 now. That looks so good. Oh,
You gotta
man.
get one.
I'm hyped.
Fall 2023 though, so you got some time.
I got a lot of time to get the necessary funds for this PS4. Actually, let me see, or PS5. Damn. Ugh. Yeah, I might. I know I will get it. I will get it eventually. Probably sometime during the summer I will get it. But it looks it looks really good. And I know there's like a lot of other games that look cool from their showcase. I did see like some clips of it of like different games that look really cool. So
there's this game called Phantom Blade that looks really good. There's a lot of interesting games shown off. They're remaking Metal Gear Solid 3. It was a pretty good showcase, but obviously that stole the show. I actually don't 100% love the symbiote suit. I do like it, but it's kind of got like these kind of shoulder pads.
yeah, I did notice that.
But I'm not only hoping but expecting, just like in the other two games, to get variations of the symbiote suit. Like you know how you've got all the different Spider-Man suits in both games. I'm hoping that the Raimi 3 suit, the one I would use because you just can't go wrong with the symbiote suit is just the classic one, like from the first appearance, just straight black.
Secret Wars.
I guarantee you they'll have it. They'll definitely have it.
I would love to see the symbiote suit design from like the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s. Where I like the red and blue like
the
highlights.
red, yeah, the highlights.
That'd be very sick. There's like, I mean, like, I hope they have like some meme. They
Shocker!
They gotta, that meme, like the Spider-Man dancing meme, like.
I wonder if they'll have.
That'll be a stretch, but
that might be.
But I mean, like.
I almost wish, like, maybe during the credits of the game, you see, like, like just something.
It could be like an emote.
Yeah.
Like interacting with like pedestrians, so like you can like high five them and stuff like that. Take a picture with them. He's like does like a little the dance for a little bit. Yeah, you just walk around and just like do that.
I do hope they do something like that. Even if like you can't do it during the story because he's not supposed to be like that during the story.
Yeah.
Maybe like after you beat the game, something fun. Yeah, dude. I mean, I love that they're making the map bigger. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I have a pretty strong feeling the third game, the one that'll end the trilogy, I'd imagine Green Goblin will be the main villain, because we see Norman in the after credit scene of the first game, and he's got like the green light on him. But with Kraven, Lizard, and Venom being in this game, I think Green Goblin would be a bit too much.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine what'll make Green Goblin become the Green Goblin will be something with Harry, because we know he's like sick or something with the symbiote. He's got the symbiote on him, so I think
imagine they do like a Spider-Verse thing for the third one.
There was like fake leaks about that, and I was like, shut up. Like, all these people trying to get clicks on Twitter, like, there is no Spider-Verse in here. Although I forgot, I was talking about this with one of my friends. I do hope they have, okay, like in the backpacks in the first game that you find around the city, I would love if they have maybe one of the mini collectibles be something about this upcoming Spider-Verse movie, because that Peter is in this movie.
Yeah.
And he's in Across the
That is
Spider-Verse.
true.
So, like, I don't want it to be in the main story, but, like, maybe he finds something in the city, like one of those collectibles, and he's like, oh, yeah, this reminds me of that time I was, chasing another Miles Morales through the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Like, just something like that.
That'd be cool. I mean, it makes sense because of the whole multiverse thing.
He is in it. Like,
yeah.
It's the same one. It's the same Spider-Man.
Yeah, but it looks really cool. Definitely will most likely get PS5. I'd say within the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Within the next 2 weeks, I will get a PS5.
Good.
It looks sick.
It's a good decision.
Yeah. So before we end things off, is there anything else you want to say, bring up, talk about? Anything really.
Speaking of Spider-Verse, I think for the next episode we're going to read the first time they had the Spider-Verse event in the comics, just like the main event. No tie-ins, no nothing. We'll review it next episode to get prepared for Across the Spider-Verse. So yeah,
I'm excited for Across the Spider-Verse. I know they released a clip from the movie yesterday, 2 days ago, but I didn't want to watch it because I just want to go in fresh.
Yeah.
And I've been hearing, unfortunately, that for the Flash movie, some of their promo stuff are getting a little spoilery.
Really?
And I think the director flat out spoiled one, like a big spoiler. Something about someone appearing in the movie, and I hate when they do that.
I haven't seen anything. I hope I don't.
I know.
But...
I'm like trying to not view any more of the Flash promo clips, any new, because I know a new trailer came out like yesterday, 2 days ago, and I don't want to see it because I don't want to see any more spoilers.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much about it. I've just seen like random celebrities are praising the movie, and it's getting weird, but I'm still excited for the movie.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited for this movie, and apparently for like the one, I know like some people had like early showings of the Flash for, I think it was this week or the week that just passed, that it was a showing of the Flash, but it wasn't like the final version, as if it's like still hiding something from the movie that won't be released until like its actual theatrical release, which I'm interested and scared to see what it is.
Why does it feel like 70% of the population has seen the Flash movie?
I know. It's like a lot of people like, so like I scrolled the TikTok, like, so I've seen the Flash movie, got early premiere. I'm like, what?
Somebody with like 500 followers. I'm like, what?
Should have been us. It should have been us.
How has everyone seen this movie?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'm excited for it. I'm excited for Spider-Verse. It looks really cool.
Oh, I can't wait.
So, with that being said, before we end things off, where can the viewers find you in the internet?
Follow us on our Twitter and our TikTok. Both are at ComicsRTW. We're nearing the end of our giveaway on TikTok. If you want to get a Star Wars Omnibus, go on TikTok. I'm also on Twitch at Woody307. Yeah, what about you?
You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Orion Scott Comics. And again, emphasis, follow us on Twitter and TikTok at ComicsRTW. We'll be posting a lot of stuff on Twitter. We're always on Twitter. We're going to be posting a lot more on TikTok. I know it's summer, so I know I have a lot of time. I want to try to push more content out. And yeah, I'm just gonna try to make our TikTok more pop out more, essentially.
Popping, yeah, more content. I'm gonna try and do the same as well.
Alrighty. So with that being said, guys, make sure to check out our next episode with Spider-Verse themes, and obviously check out all of our previous episodes. You can see how my setup progression from the normal shitty laptop computer and mic to now getting a mic with a terrible camera. Now we have a good camera with a good microphone.
Yeah,
So
it's awesome.
We're making upgrades. You can see the progression. We're making
upgrades for sure.
And with that being said, guys, make sure to keep reading comics, support your local comic book shop, and remember that comics run the world.